Hi everyone, welcome to this series about PostgreSQL and learning about PostgreSQL. My goal for this series is to help you learn PostgreSQL, and I would like to do it in a way where it's not just one style. For example, we'll be learning on the board, and then of course we will have programming sessions. And then another thing I want to implement is challenge videos or challenge tasks for you. So what I mean by that is I give you a challenge, explain it in a video or on the board here, and then your role, your responsibility is to go out and fulfill that challenge, and then I'll come back after that with a video that solves the challenge in the way I would do it. So that I hope will allow you to learn better, and it gives this playlist or this series a unique twist to it, and that will keep you interested. So I guess now that's out of the way. First question would be, what is PostgreSQL? Well, PostgreSQL is database management system. What is meant by a database management system? Well, it's a software application that allows you to interact and control your database. So that's what is meant by management. We'll get into what database actually is in a later upcoming video, but for now just think of it as a container that holds your data. I'm sure you know what data is, so that shouldn't be too difficult to imagine. So PostgreSQL is a database management system. What are some characteristics of this database management system, specifically PostgreSQL? Firstly, it's known as a relational database management system. A relational database management system. DBMS stands for the database management system. So what does it mean for the database management system to be relational? Well, a relation is just a math term for tables, columns, rows. When you think of relation, think of tables. Or when you see relation, think of tables. So what does it mean for PostgreSQL to be relational? It just means that PostgreSQL is a database management system that manages your data in tables. So let me repeat that again. PostgreSQL is a database management system that manages your data in relations or tables. So that is the idea for now. Another characteristic of PostgreSQL is that it is object oriented. So what does it mean for PostgreSQL to be object oriented? First of all, object oriented refers to a programming paradigm called object oriented programming. I won't be explaining what that is for now, but we'll get to see some examples later on or we will get to learn about object-oriented programming with PostgreSQL. So, if you don't know too much about object-oriented programming, maybe the videos where we'll be discussing how PostgreSQL can be used in an object-oriented manner, maybe that'll help you understand it. So, what does it mean for PostgreSQL to be object-oriented? Well, it just means that it contains features, or it contains the ability for you to use PostgreSQL in an object-oriented manner. So for example, we have this parent table, P for parent, and I want to create another table here, C. I will inherit from this parent table, and then maybe add on some more data attributes. Another way you could, another feature, another example of object-oriented, another object-oriented feature or an example of a feature in PostgreSQL is the creation of an encapsulated data type. So E data type, encapsulated data type. So you could create your own encapsulated data type, and then you could use this data type in your tables. So these are just some examples of how PostgreSQL can be used in an object-oriented manner. And like I said, we will get to see some examples when we get to the object-oriented videos later on. So, and yeah, and I guess another, the next question would be, okay, PostgreSQL. What language do we use here? Well, it's in the name, SQL. So if you don't know what SQL is, SQL stands for Structured Query Language. So PostgreSQL, we will be using the structured query language. Now, just like some other database management systems, so PostgreSQL, like I said, is a database management system. There are other database management systems, some other database management systems, and PostgreSQL as well. They build on the SQL language, and they may add some changes to it. So for example, they may create their own dialects on top of the standard SQL language. But that shouldn't be too big of an issue right now. Just think that when we're using PostgreSQL, we'll be using SQL. So, and we will get to see later on where PostgreSQL may deviate from the standard SQL language. But that shouldn't be too much of an issue right now. And then lastly, something that is also important, maybe not now for you, but maybe later on, PostgreSQL is open source. Specifically, it's under the PostgreSQL license. Now, what does that mean? What you should know from this is that when using PostgreSQL, you can modify it, you could use it in your software, you could commercialize the products that contain your PostgreSQL databases, anything of that type, in absolutely no cost. So it's free of cost. You're free to, like we said, modify PostgreSQL itself. You could use PostgreSQL in your software applications. You could distribute the applications that use PostgreSQL free of any cost. So that's something that may be useful later on, or right now. Maybe you want to develop something that uses PostgreSQL, you want to commercialize it, or maybe you want to modify PostgreSQL itself, make some changes yourself. Yeah, you have the free license to do that, and that's one of the good things about PostgreSQL and about it being open source. So yeah, that should be it for now. That should be a good introductory overview of what PostgreSQL. Of course, there's probably a lot more, but just maybe the important things, the important characteristics. PostgreSQL is a database management system. It's relational and it's object-oriented. Uses the structured query language, and it's open source. So hopefully these 5 points give you some introductory overview of what PostgreSQL, and yeah, that is it for this video. guess I'll see you in the next video.